Hi, this is Paul with Alpha Rain, and I just wanted to answer the question that is frequently asked about Galvalume. There's always a confusion between Galvalume and galvanized. Galvanized is something that everybody kind of knows that term, but when you say Galvalume, they're like, well, how is that different? Galvalume is a process. It's a coating that's zinc and aluminum, and it was actually been around for since the early 70s, and it was a patented process, and they still license mills to make it. And what it is it's actually coated with aluminum and zinc. And what the aluminum and zinc does is it prevents corrosion and rust. And they have different tests that have been done that you can actually see between galvanized and galvalume. And in most of those tests, the galvalume outperforms the galvanized. They have a salt spray test. And let me grab this real quick. This is a pre-painted piece of galvalume. It's actually primed on the back side. But what we're concerned with metal roofs is the cut edge, which would be this part right here. This has actually been cut with a tool. And if that is, this is actually just a small miniaturized metal roofing panel. And if this right here is going to actually be cut and folded under, and that's actually what it is. So it would be folded under around the drip edge, and this raw edge that is cut would actually be exposed. And so you don't have it, it's not painted because it's pre-painted everywhere you can see here. But when you cut it, there's no pre-painted part right there. So that is going to be the weak point on any roof that's a metal roof. So what we do is, like, we go back and look and do our own tests to see. We'll do a visual test. Some of our roofs that we've installed over 15 years ago, and you'll see a little surface rust right here on the edge, but the Galvalume coating keeps that from peeling and rusting all the way up the metal. What we see a lot on the old tin roofs is that's normally the spot that will rust. And in fact, a lot of old tin roofs, we're talking 100 years old, some of these, the bottom foot or 2 feet of the metal roof, they've actually had to cut it off because the rust has gone all the way up. The cut edge rusted even up a foot or two. They'll cut that out and then they'll place a new piece. So some of these roofs, you'll see the standing seam come down and it stops about a foot or 2 feet up, and then there's a horizontal piece of metal that's placed in there. So if you ever see that, you'll know what's happened. The old tin roofs had no corrosion resistance. Pretty much the paint was a protection, and as soon as the paint failed, it would start rusting. Sometimes if you had a place that the paint had peeled up on an old tin roof, it would rust through the roof in a year time, sometimes less, depending on where it was located. So Galvalume, from our we've been using it exclusively for 15 years on metal roofs. It's just a great process, gives you more protection than galvanized by most studies and by what we've seen. So Galvalume, if you have any other questions, click on the bottom link. You can actually go to our website and ask me a question directly. I've also got 2 other links on there. They are the links to the Galvalume website, which is by the company who created Galvalume, and then another link, which is their website that has more, they answered frequently asked questions. And hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, just ask them, and I will try to get to them as soon as possible. Thanks.